Good evening. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I hope you are doing good. Um I hope you're flourishing. Hope that all is well, all is good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This evening, we are going to be talking about entrepreneurialism and whether or not it is for you. We are in a season, we are in a day and age where everybody is looking to start a business, they are looking to do a side hustle, so to speak. And you might be thinking, is starting a business right for me? Is this something that I should do? Is this something that I'm called to do? People have entrepreneurialism as being a piece of cake, a cakewalk, and starting a business being something that, hey, I can do this in my sleep. I can do this, overnight. I can, be rich tomorrow if I start a business. And unfortunately, that is not the case at all. So, the purpose of this is to break down any myths and debunk any types of thoughts that you may have about starting a business. So, let's go ahead and get started. Should I entrepreneur? Should I start a business? You're probably wondering if this is for me. So let's talk about it. Let's go into it. So the purpose is to talk about what does it take to be an entrepreneur? Learning what it is that is required of somebody starting a business and deciding if this is the step that you want to take, if this is for you, if this is something that you want to do. Also understanding, what it means to be an entrepreneur. What does it mean to be a business owner? What does it mean? What is the difference between being an entrepreneur and just being a side hustle and being a hustler, so to speak? So that's what we're going to talk about. So, what exactly is entrepreneurialism? So, entrepreneurialism is the ability, and this is in simple terms what it is. The ability to trade time for money. I don't know if you have ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki and the cash flow quadrant. Robert Kiyosaki, I will tell you, he is somebody that is definitely a go-to, somebody that you want to read about and read up on if you do want to start a business. In the cash flow quadrant, he breaks down entrepreneurialism as being something simple, being able to trade time for money. Because to be honest with you, if you don't have time, you are not wealthy at all. You are not an entrepreneur. You are just basically a self employed person. There is a difference between being an entrepreneur and being self employed. Self employed people basically have no time to themselves. They have no time. They don't have the ability to trade time for money because as a self-employed person, they are busy chasing the money. They are busy making sure that their business survives and thrives. So you are, to be honest with you, if you are not able to trade time for money, you are not an entrepreneur. You are basically self-employed. You are a business owner. You are somebody looking to eventually trade your time for money. So that is the true definition of entrepreneurialism. Now I'm trying to see some of the comments. I don't see a comment. Let me see something really quick. Let me if I can pull up the comments. All right. Let me see really quick if I can see the comments. I don't see the comments from. Oh, Mialetta commented. She's from Buffalo, New York. Welcome, Mialetta. Okay, so got that out the way. So let's talk about the naked truth of being an entrepreneur. Okay. So this is what other people think it is. This is what people assume entrepreneurialism is. So the number one thing that people think entrepreneurship is the easiest way to wealth. People think if I start my own business, I'm going to be a millionaire by next year. I'm going to, have millionaire status, and I'll have the opportunity to be Bill Gates rich and Elon Musk rich. They look at these people who started businesses and who are self-made millionaires and billionaires, and they think that this is the way for me to gain wealth. And to be honest with you, entrepreneurship is a stream that you can use to gain wealth. People also think it's an opportunity for you to have freedom with your time. So if I'm self-employed, I make my own schedule. I can do what I want to do whenever I want to do it. And to be honest with you, I make my own schedule because I work for myself. People also think that I'm my own boss, so I don't have to answer to anybody. I don't have to look to anybody for any type of advice. I don't have to take any type of criticism from anybody. People think being an entrepreneur that they don't have to answer to a boss, so to speak. And people also look at this as a way to escape their reality. The vast majority of people do not like their jobs. They don't like being employed by a company. They don't like punching a clock. They don't like, not having the flexibility to take the time off when they want to take the time off and to do what they need to do. So therefore, they think that being an entrepreneur is that escape from their reality of working a job. And then also many people on social media has this whole facade that if I become an entrepreneur, I could be famous. I could be Facebook famous. I could be Instagram famous. We have a new type of platform that's out called Clubhouse, and Clubhouse has everybody thinking that now all of a sudden you get a Clubhouse account, you get on a few platforms, you do a few little podcasts through Clubhouse, and all of a sudden everybody is Dr. Phil, everybody is Ayana, Fix My Life. I've never seen so many life coaches before in my life before Clubhouse. I've never seen so many people who are now like self-made millionaires within 3 months of being on Clubhouse. Everybody is rich now, and everybody is making money, and everybody, is just this celebrity because of social media. And then people also have the perception that, well, if I start a business, I can go to the Small Business Administration, I can go to my bank, I can go to other places and get funding for my business. That is probably one of the worst misconceptions that anybody can have about starting a business. So let's talk about the reality of it. I've been an entrepreneur or a business owner since I was 11 years old. Okay. I started my business with a simple babysitting company. All right. I created flyers. I ordered business cards. I had business cards at the age of 11 and literally had 6 blocks on lock when it came to the business and clients and stuff like that. Had those blocks on lock with clients. And then also, I had a print lab. So I was printing programs and all kinds of stuff. At my young age, I was up late at night making sure my business was functioning. So the reality is, when you are first starting your business, you are going to give up your time to make sure your business is successful. You're going to have some long nights and some early mornings. You're going to have some sleepless nights, making sure that you're building your empire. You are going to have to work hard to brand yourself. You are going to have to make yourself stand out and be better than the rest. So that means when you're branding yourself, you got to make sure your look is on point. You got to make sure what you say is on point. You got to make sure your tagline, those little intricate things that people forget, those have to be on point when you start your business. You have to also be structured and organized when you start a business. You can't just purchase stuff for your business and not know where the receipts are. You can't just spend money and not understand where the money is coming from. You have to have a structure for how your business is operated. You have to also be accountable to yourself and to those that you are working with to help build your business on making your business successful. So you're not going to be able to swipe your debit card all the time, your business debit card all the time, and you haven't met your payroll. And you got people leaning and depending on you to pay. You can't pay yourself before you pay anybody else. That's not how true entrepreneurship works. And 90% of businesses that fail operate on that principle. I pay myself first and pay everybody last. You are the last person to get paid if there's anything left, to be honest with you. So it's very important that you are a person that is organized, structured, and can be self-accountable. Now, if you don't have those skills, you have to get somebody as a mentor or somebody on your team that can help you gain those skills. But you have to be able to be organized, structured, and accountable. You also are going to give up some freedom that you might have currently. So for some people, you may have more freedom being an employee than what you're going to have starting a business. It's going to take up time. It's going to take you basically making some decisions and doing some things that you are not comfortable with doing. You're going to have to make some choices. You might not be able to go to the movies with your buddies and your friends. You might not be able to go on that vacation that you always go on every single year with your family, because as you're building a business, your funds are going to have to be intact. You're going to have to be here. You're going to have to do what it is that you need to do. And then also, this runs into a financial situation. So if you don't have the money up front to start your business, you're going to possibly be financially challenged and stressed for a few years as you get your business up and running. There are so many people out here making it think that's having the appearance that it's so easy to get funding for your business. Let me tell you something. This pandemic has presented a lot of opportunities, but it's also presented a lot of challenges for the future. With this PPP money that has been going out, and now they are out of PPP money. Let me tell you something. There were a lot of people and a lot of businesses that took advantage of that money. So guess what's getting ready to happen? It's going to be harder to get funding for your business. It's going to be harder for you to go to the SBA and plead your case. That is the reality. I don't care what people say on social media, what they post and all that stuff. The reality is you are going to have to be disciplined financially in order for your business to be successful. And again, as you're building your business, some things are going to have to be let go. Entrepreneurship can sometimes be a lonely journey. And what I mean by that is, again, everybody can't walk this journey with you because they don't understand this journey. They don't understand that instead of going to the club or to the restaurant or going out to eat or anything like that, I am staying home to work on my business plan. I'm staying home to make sure that my articles of incorporation are intact. I'm staying home to make sure my general ledger is balanced. You are going to begin to see your circle shift as you shift into becoming an entrepreneur. And I very much recommend that you have a mentor, somebody that has way more experience, way more time in doing this, and way more money. You cannot be a millionaire hanging out with thousandaires and hundredaires. If you want to be a millionaire, you got to associate and be mentored by millionaires. And I'm not talking about a 7-figure millionaire. I'm talking about 8- and 9-figure millionaires. And it's possible for you to have that done. So let's talk about making the decision to become an entrepreneur and what that should look like. So let's talk about a few things. 22% of businesses fail within the first year in business. 60% of businesses fail within 3 to 5 years of being in business. And the reason why they fail is because they don't have a market for their business. So basically, you just went out and started a business and you didn't research if this business is the right market, or if you're in the right market to do your business. 62% of millionaires and billionaires in the world are self-made. So that means they didn't inherit their funds from a trust fund. They didn't grow up with a silver spoon in their mouth. These people went out and did the work and became millionaires and billionaires. And there are 582 millionaires and billionaires in the world. 582 entrepreneurs in the world. 60% of all entrepreneurs are within the age of 40 to 60. So usually they are people who have worked in the private sector, the public sector. They've been employees for a while, and they made the decision to branch out and do their own business. So let's talk about the startup trends. For those who are really looking at starting their business, 69% of businesses are at home. So they are home-based businesses, mostly multi-level marketing businesses. So like, your Mary Kay's, your Tracy Lynn jewelries, your paparazzi jewelries, your LuLaRoe, I think went out of business, but something like that would be considered a home-based business. 25% of startups are female-led startups. 33% of all people who start a business only have a high school diploma, with less than 15% having bachelor's degrees or higher. 77% of all new startups, the funding comes from personal funds. This is something that I can relate to. I started my business and I have been managing my business with my own funds. And unfortunately, I was not eligible, or I could not get PPP funding. And I have found that for me, it has been difficult to get the funding that I need from the SBA. And guess what? I'm okay with that, because financially, my personal funds and being able to make the money that I have made with my business, we have been able to sustain our home, and we have been able to not significantly change our lifestyle based on starting businesses. Now, I realize that is not everybody's plight in life. That is not everybody's way in life. But understand that you will probably have to use your personal money to start your business. And if you are going to take money out of the mouths of the people in your house in order to start your business, you might want to think about that. 40% of all businesses are profitable, with 30% of them breaking even and 30% of them continually losing money on a regular basis. And here was another interesting fact. And the more I read about this, the more I could see this. Companies with 2 or more founders have more success than a one founder business. Why? Number one, 2 or more heads are always better than one. So if you have a second head or a third head as a founder, you can have your idea, they can come with their ideas, all of you are coming with your ideas at the table, and it's going to help bring fresh ideas and help you be successful. This also brings an opportunity for 2 or more streams of income to come to help you start and maintain your business. So you might come with a little bit of money. That second founder may come with a little bit of money. The more founders you have that's able to feed into the business and into the idea of the business, the more likely you will be to be successful. Also, the top startup businesses are business services and food or restaurant industry businesses. So people who come with a business product that they can offer to somebody, for example, a tax preparation company, a consultancy, something that people can tap into and buy into. And food and restaurants, everybody is always going to eat. There's always going to be a need for a restaurant. It's the type of restaurant that you start that determines your success. Those are the top startups. Both of them have 11% startup rates. So I found that to be interesting as well. So here are the trends. Now, these are the most successful, most profitable startups. The first one is pay anything to do with money. So that includes accounting, tax preparation, bookkeeping, and payroll services. 18.4% profitable and successful. Guess what? People want to outsource and hire people to do all of the things that I just listed, especially payroll. If you can find a company or a system that can do the payroll for you, payroll is the most difficult thing that has to be done for a company. I know this personally. And guess what? If there's a way to outsource it, and if you are that person that somebody can outsource it to, and you're professional, you're accountable, you're honest, and you're good with that, guess what? You're going to be very successful. Tax preparation. There are so many companies out here now that are coming into fruition as a tax preparation company that are better and more financially efficient than an H&R Block or one of these national and internationally chained tax preparation companies. And it doesn't cost a lot of money to become a franchisee of these smaller tax prep companies. And it doesn't cost a lot of money to become a certified tax prep person. So tax preparation is another one that has the highest startup levels, and they are the most profitable. Bookkeeping is another one. There are virtual bookkeepers out here. There are people who are starting virtual assisting and virtual bookkeeping companies, and they are successful. Another thing that is successful, any type of real estate, whether you are a real estate investor, if you are somebody who is somebody who sells real estate, somebody who flips houses, that is another top startup company that you would be successful at, because now more than ever, the need for housing is great. The buyer's market is so saturated right now. There are more buyers than there are homes available. And next month, the moratorium on evictions are getting ready to come up. So this means that more homes are going to be available. They're going to be available. They're going to need to be rehabbed. They're going to need to be fixed up. And guess what? It's a prime opportunity for somebody who wants to build a real estate portfolio. It's a prime opportunity for you to do that. So real estate is another one. Legal services. So starting a law firm. There are a lot of people that do like prepaid legal, things like that. That's another one, because guess what? People need a lawyer. People need legal services. People need legal advice. So anything to do with legal services, that comes in at third. Management of companies and enterprises. So again, this all goes with, real estate portfolios. This also goes with, for example, there is the Coral Group, I believe it is. They are a management company, and they have a portfolio of thousands of properties that they manage and thousands of buildings that they manage. There are companies that manage other companies, so to speak. So this is a good one to come. Activities related to real estate. So real estate agents, people who rehab houses. This is a good area for you to go into. Construction is a good area to go into right now if you are looking to start a business to do with real estate, because the more that houses are going to come up to be rehabbed and all of that, and people are going to be looking to get rid of their homes. Guess what? Your services, if you are a general contractor or a construction person, your services are going to be needed more and more. So dentist is another one. Offices of dentists. So if you are looking to start a dental service, that's a good one. Offices of real estate agents and brokers. That's another one. Again, the need for real estate agents is high because of the level and the amount of homes that are for sale. Now, in order for you to be a successful real estate agent and broker, you have to make sure that you align yourself with the right companies. You have to make sure that you align yourself and get educated by the right school and proper real estate program in order for you to be successful. Because there are so many people that are licensed real estate agents, but they aren't even cracking the 100,000 level in terms of selling levels. So be very important, be very careful of that. Another area that is a good startup area is anything to do with healthcare. So if you're looking as a practitioner, a doctor, to go into private practice for yourself, now is a good time to do that. All right. If you want to go into business as a licensed independent social worker, therapist, counselor, nurse practitioner, something like that, very good opportunity to do that. And then if you are looking to open up and establish a medical diagnostic company, a laboratory, something like that, that's also good. Now, these are the worst. So anybody that is in oil and gas, your likelihood of being profitable is 6.9%. Another failure is software publishers. So again, there's a difference between a book publisher and a software publisher. So a software publisher is basically somebody that creates new software. Well, we know we are moving into the age of where software is pretty much becoming obsolete in a lot of areas. And people are using apps more and more. So the likelihood of you being successful if you go into software publishing is 5.1%. Beverage manufacturing is another one where, you know, it's pretty much low. Okay. Remember when we talked about restaurant and food service being a high startup? Well, guess what? Making beer and wine and alcoholic beverages, if you wanted to, you know, be a wholesaler of that, the likelihood of you being successful in that is slim to none at that point, because it's, again, such a saturated market that, I mean, pretty much people can go anywhere and buy beer and alcohol. So that is slim to none. Anything to do with petroleum is low. Grocery stores, opening up grocery stores and having a small grocery store, your likelihood of being successful is 2.2%. And the reason being for a lot of stores, and I can tell you about a few of the small grocery stores that we have here that are not national chains. If you don't have the ability to purchase the food necessary to provide to your customers. So for example, I went to a grocery store maybe 3 months ago, trying to stay in the neighborhood. And unfortunately, this particular grocery store had no produce. Kid you not, no produce. The produce that they had left was not fresh at all. And so when I asked them, I said, why is it that I come into your store all the time and you don't have produce? Your meat levels are short. You don't have anything to offer somebody. And the person just flat out told me, you know, the person that their suppliers is low, and the people that they purchase from is low. They're low on stuff. And if they're low on stuff, then they can't, unfortunately, bring it to them. So a lot of times smaller grocery stores don't have the resources, and they don't have the ability to go to bigger chain and bigger stores and organizations and bigger manufacturers to bring in the foods necessary for them to be successful. They don't have a contract with Dole. They don't have a contract with Micheli's cheese down in Ashland, Ohio. They don't have the contracts necessary with the big vendors to bring in what is needed. And then finally, anything to do with bakery and tortilla manufacturing. So again, if you're looking to become a bakery and to, open up a bakery, chances are your level of success is going to be at 2%. Again, because bakeries and that whole industry is sort of fading away, to be honest with you. You can't find, I would say within the last 10 to 15 years, the bakery industry has been kind of fading away because people are, going more and more, unfortunately, towards processed cakes. So it's quicker for me to run to Dave's supermarket and grab a cake that I need than to call a bakery in my neighborhood. And, the likelihood of them being able to, bake what I want them to bake is slim to none. They might not be available. They might be busy. They can't produce the bakery goods like going to a store. So again, it's just something to think about. Where do I go from here? So we hear the statistics and stuff, and you're still probably thinking, okay, but I still want to start a business. I still want to do this. So where do I go from here? First things first, find your niche. What is it that you want to do? What is it exactly that you feel you are called to do? What kind of business do you want to start? So, again, it might be sitting down with somebody, sitting down with a mentor, and figuring out what your business is going to be. And whatever you do, don't worry about if somebody else that you know is in that same line of business. Don't worry about if for example, you might be somebody that is producing, clothing goods. You want to produce t-shirts. Don't worry about if somebody else is in business doing the same thing. Yes, you should, look at your competitor and see what they're doing, if they have poor customer service, or if their turnaround is a little slow. Obviously, if you want to make the money, you want to be able to, beat out your quote unquote competitors, so to speak. But don't worry about, your competitor or somebody that's already in the business. If you feel that you have the gift, if you have the market base, if you have the product that can attract a certain market, go ahead and put the plan together and do it. And then also do your research. Look at what it's going to take for your business to be profitable. Look at what the investment cost is going to be for your business. Look at the time, the raw materials that you might need, the products that you might need, the knowledge that you might need to do this business. Do your research before you start a business and find out what it will take for you to be successful. And then understand who you are. So, what is your personality? Do you have that patience level that is needed to do the business that you want to do? Do you have the personality that it takes to work with a certain demographic of people or a group of people? Do you have that drive? Are you driven? Are you somebody who is disciplined, or are you somebody that likes to play around? Are you somebody that gets your feelings hurt every time and you go into a corner and you cry? Or are you somebody that says, I'm going to cry and then I'm going to boss up and do what I need to do? Do you have what it takes for you to be successful? Are you disciplined enough to be successful? Understand who you are before you go into business, and then be willing to learn about your business. Be willing to learn. Let me tell you something. We don't know everything. We don't know it all. So you will have to sit down and possibly learn a little bit more about what it is that you need to do to prepare yourself for your business. You might have to take courses. You might have to go back to school. You might have to become certified in some areas. For example, if you're doing bookkeeping, if you're doing tax preparation, you do have to be certified in order to do that. In order for you to go into real estate, you do have to be licensed to be a realtor, and you do have to go to school and take classes to become a real estate agent and a broker. So you have to understand what it's going to take and be willing to learn. Also, set a timetable. Okay, how long is it going to take for me to get from here to here? How long will it take for me to do this business and establish myself in this business? How long is it going to take for me to get the certifications that I need in order to become licensed so I can operate this business? What is your timetable? Set a 30-day timetable, 60-day timetable, 90-day, 120, 180 day, 365 days. You need to set a timetable in terms of start, inception of your business, all the way to starting your business. And then finally, you need to be realistic. You have to have a come to Jesus moment with yourself about what it's going to take for you to do your business. What are the risks involved with doing your business? What are the responsibilities that comes with your business? You got to understand what it takes to do what it is that you want to do. And you got to be able to understand if this is right for you, if this is the thing that I should do, if this is what I can do. Do I have the strength? Do I have the knowledge? Do I have the support system necessary to do this business and get it off and running? So all of that is stuff that you should ask yourself. And if you don't understand, you don't get it, talk to somebody. Sit down with somebody that is doing a business similar to what you want to do and say, hey, I got some questions. My friend Lisa McGuthrie has an Entrepreneur 180 course that she offers to new and emerging and existing entrepreneurs. I am in that class right now. Let me tell you, it is the best thing that I could have done for myself, because I'm really learning more about diving in to my business and going deeper into getting my business structure done. I had one way of doing things, but now that I'm seeing a different way, I understand why I've had some hiccups, why I've had some things that came along the way that caused me to have to do a backslide or go backwards. I highly encourage everybody to look up Entrepreneur 180, Lisa McGuthrie, Dr. Lisa McGuthrie. Let me emphasize that. You're not just getting somebody that doesn't have any experience. You are getting somebody with a whole doctorate degree, okay, that has invested the time necessary to learn about this, who has several successful businesses on the ground that can help you get to your next level. So I strongly recommend looking that up, and possibly, I think her next class is going to start like in July or August. So look at taking her class. And if that isn't the right one for you, take a class similar, but I'm going to guarantee you this class will be right for you. So that's all I have for you this evening. I want to thank you all for joining me. I'm going to see if there are any questions or comments in the chat box. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, Karita is on. Okay. Hey, everybody. So I hope everybody got what they needed out of this. Again, this is just a small portion of what I talk about when I, am talking to clients, and I have, people that say, hey, I'm looking to do a business. I'm looking to start a business or whatever. I need some help. I need some assistance. These are some of the things that I go over, and I have some even deeper things that I discuss with them. I even have exercises that I have them do when they come and consult with me about starting their business. So thank you all for joining us. I really, really appreciate you. If you are not a follower, please follow me on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram. And then if you have any questions about any of the services that I offer, or anything that you want to learn about, so to speak, please feel free to visit my website, www.deannamooretaylor.com, and let's connect. I look forward to connecting with you. Thank you again for joining Should I Entrepreneur? And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Please reach out to me. I look forward to talking to you. Have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you soon.